Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a really cool idea, how to take your entire life's journey, all the personal stuff, all the professional stuff, and turn it into an actual physical book. So let's just forget about that boring one-page resume for a second. We're talking about building a portfolio that tells your whole story. All right, let's get into it. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're trying to cram your entire existence onto a single sheet of paper. It just doesn't work. A resume can list what you've done, but what about the why? What about the people who influenced you, the lessons you learned, and your big vision for the future? How in the world do you capture all of that in a way that actually grabs someone's attention? Well, the answer we're exploring today is something called a My Life Storybook. And you should think of this as way more than just a portfolio. It's really a powerful tool for expressing who you are. It's this chance to pull together all your work, your thoughts, your biggest wins, and weave them into one single powerful story that you get to control completely. So a project this big, where do you even start? It sounds kind of huge, I know. But just like any epic story or quest, it all begins with getting your gear together. This first stage is all about gathering the raw materials. You know, the building blocks of your life's narrative. And we can actually break this whole quest down into two really clear, totally manageable phases. First, you've got the information gathering and drafting phase. That's where you just get all your ideas and stories down. Then, and only then, do you move on to phase two, the design and production. Splitting it up like this makes the whole thing feel way less overwhelming.
So what's in your starting toolkit for phase one? Well, you'll probably start by grabbing things you already have lying around. We're talking about past schoolwork, old assignments, maybe some journal entries or personal reflections, and of course those memorable photos that help bring your story to life. These are the foundational pieces.
Okay, once you've got all your materials together, it's time to start giving them some shape. The real heart of this book is an exploration of your own inner world, basically mapping out three key areas: your past, your present, and your future. And the journey always starts by looking back. You know, before you can figure out where you're going, you kind of have to understand the road that brought you here. So this first section is all about honoring your roots, the experiences, and, just as importantly, the people who made you who you are today.
So you'll be writing chapters with titles like My Life Journey, where you literally tell your story. You'll reflect on my influential people and my great teachers, and you'll even include an acknowledgement section. See? It's all about starting from a place of gratitude and giving your story some real context.
So after you've looked back, you're going to shift your focus right to the here and now. And this isn't just about making a list of your skills. It's about a totally honest self-check. What are your real strengths? What do you bring to the table right now? This section is a candid look at who you are today. This is where you really map out what's called your self-capital, all your unique strengths and abilities. You'll also dive into your local wisdom and global knowledge, which shows how you're connected to both your community and the bigger world. It's basically a complete snapshot of your present self. Okay, so you have a solid grasp on your past and your present. Now it's time to look ahead. This is the most visionary part of the whole process. This is where you stop just documenting what's happened and you start declaring what's going to happen. You're going to chart a course for your future, your passions, and the legacy you want to build.
This section is all about defining your why. You'll write a preface for the book itself, a chapter about one of your core passions, like in this example, rural development, and then the two big ones. You'll craft a personal mission statement and really think about the legacy you hope to leave behind. All right, your story is written. Now we get to enter what might be the most exciting phase, the design. This is where you take all that text, all those reflections, and you transform it into a beautiful, physical thing that you can actually hold in your hands and share with the world. And for this part of the quest, the source material points to one tool in particular, Canva. And for good reason. It's super accessible, it's easy to use, and it is packed with creative tools that let you design something that looks incredibly professional, even if you're not a graphic designer.
You know, great design is all about finding that balance between creative freedom and creative discipline. So on one hand, yeah, go nuts. Mix different templates, use your own photos, find a color palette that screams you. But on the other hand, you need the discipline to create a consistent brand with a clear style and covers that work together. That's what makes the final book look really polished and intentional. Now, before you even think about hitting that publish button, there is one last absolutely critical step. And this quote really drives it home. You have to review everything. We're not just talking about a quick spell check here. This is about making sure the whole book, from the first page to the last, feels consistent in both its look and its message. Yeah, it's meticulous and it takes time, but this is what separates a good project from a truly great one.
So after all that work, the gathering, the writing, the designing, what did you actually make? Well, it's so much more than just a fancy resume or some school project. You've literally crafted a testament to your own journey. At the end of the day, this book becomes a physical piece of your legacy. It's this perfect snapshot that captures not just what you've done, but who you are, what you truly believe in, and where you're headed next. It's your story in your hands. And that brings us to the final, really thought-provoking question. Once your personal epic is written, designed, and sitting in front of you, it's ready to make an impact. The only question left is, who are you going to share it with? A future employer? A mentor? Your family? The story is officially yours to tell.